You mentioned facts, the magic word. Let's look at what Kellyanne Conway said this morning about facts.
Why put him out there for the very first time in front of that podium to utter a provable falsehood? It's a small thing, but the first time he confronts the public, it's a falsehood?
Chuck, I mean, if we're going to keep referring to our press secretary in those types of terms, I think that we're going to have to rethink our relationship here.
It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office on day one.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and they're giving Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that. But the point remains.
Wait a minute. Alternative facts? Alternative facts, 4 of the 5 facts he uttered. The one thing he got right was Zeke Miller. 4 of the 5 facts he uttered were just not true. Look, alternative facts are not facts. They're falsehoods.
Alternative facts, new phrase now in the lexicon as of today. Frank, you said a few minutes ago that if this is a war on the press, the administration is not going to win. Does anybody here disagree that actually it is the administration that would win a war on the press, could very well take down news organizations?
Well, I think what's really scary here is not the administration or the press per se, but the society, which will lose profoundly if we abandon our belief that there is actually reality, that there are actually facts, and that the phrase alternative fact is a lawyer's phrase. Or that's a phrase.
It's a George Orwell phrase.
May I say that we teach no courses in our journalism program about alternative facts.
Right. I mean, you're either a fact.
We will flunk you if you use alternative.
I mean, Martha, have you heard euphemisms like this before?
This is not a euphemism. This is a struggle going on in the world right now. There are people who understand that if you can create a different understanding of reality, you can actually change politics or anything else you want to deal with. But the problem with that is that when society needs to make real decisions about real issues, about life and death, about war and peace, about climate, about economy, you have to deal with the actual reality. And at some point, you either are dealing with the actual reality, the public gets to know the actual reality, or you have turned over the public's power to individuals who hide behind a veneer of falsehood. And that's a big decision for society to make. It's not about us. It's about the society's understanding of the realities that they're being asked to make decisions on.
And paving the way for this situation is our movements like the birther movement that was embraced by Donald Trump, that raised falsely the question about President Obama's birthplace, that created a national conversation among some people that I think may exist in some quarters to this day. So if they want to look at the foundation of where this started, they could look in the mirror.
Martha, what's most comparable to this in history?
Well, you have instances certainly where people have, press secretaries have come out and said something that the president had wanted them to that may not have been true. But one of the things Ron Nessen had said in an interview I did with him several years ago, he said all press secretaries know the same rules. Don't lie. Tell the truth. And he said the problem becomes that others don't understand that, the importance of it. And the White House staff and presidents themselves often want you to do something else. And so it's going to be a learning experience for everybody, and it's going to be important for people in the White House to have the president's ear to say, this is not working.
Coming up against a break here, but briefly, Frank, one last thought from you?
I said earlier, credibility is the indelible ink of administrations. Lyndon Johnson is remembered for the lies around Vietnam. Richard Nixon is remembered for the lies around Watergate. Bill Clinton is remembered for the lies around Lewinsky. Credibility matters. It starts with small issues. It's reputational. And people will take their conclusions and their impressions from the totality of the media and what they observe and their experience. It's not one day. It's not one story. It builds over time.
We have to keep in mind our own credibility crisis
Yes,
while
we
we're talking about theirs. Both are real.